Trying to mend the pieces of your broken heart. Want to make a change but don't know where to start. Let's go on a journey trying something new. Let's go on the road to finding you. The RSpot with Iyanla. Talking relationships, getting down to the thick of it. The RSpot with Iyanla.
Blessings and welcome to the RSpot. I hope you like my new summer wash and wear hair, but we are not here to talk about that. This is the place we come to examine and explore all matters of relationships, what we have done and can do to make our relationships more loving, fulfilling, and fun. Now, the last time I spoke about something related to this topic, people didn't want to watch. However, after the letters I have received and the questions I have been asked, I believe this topic is worth revisiting: parenting alone. Today, I want to look at, examine, and offer some feedback on 4 critical errors we make as parents when we are parenting alone. Now, parenting is probably one of the most profoundly important and critical relationships we have. Every one of us has been positively or negatively impacted by the nature and the energy of the relationship we have or have had with our parents. In fact, it is those relationships, the one we had or didn't have with our mother, and the one we had or didn't have with our father, that becomes the template for all of our relationships. And when we are parenting alone, we simply must become more mindful of how we build the relationship with our children. I also know that when it comes to parenting, people do not like other people to tell them how to raise their children. So today's topic is a sensitive one, but I'm willing to take the risk. And let me say up front that I'm not here to judge or criticize anyone, nor am I challenging any parent's right to do what they think is best in the way they think it's best for their children. I'm offering you some things to consider. Just kind of let them percolate in your mind and in your heart. And if anything I say here upsets you, you might want to ask yourself why. Now, as a parent, I am painfully aware that the average parent wants to and tries to do their best for the children. And I'm also aware that we make mistakes. I made some, and I'm sure most parents can acknowledge that they have made some critical mistakes when trying to do their best. I mean, life and social conditions are changing so fast, we often don't know what to do or how to do it. Then some of us are trying so hard not to do what was done to us that we make up things that just don't work. Then there are so many young folks who are parents, and they are really making up some stuff. Then there are those folks who are so overwhelmed with their own unhealed stuff that they're just getting by, let alone trying to parent someone else. So today, I just want to address a few things that I have seen and heard that are common mistakes some parents make, or in severe cases, 4 critical errors. Number 1, making your daughter a friend. Number 2, making your son an emotional husband. Number 3, making the absent parent the enemy. And number 4, making yourself last. Each of these errors or ways of being and raising your children leads to stress and conflict and anger and resentment for both the parent and the child. So let's take a closer look at what I mean. And I want to address them in reverse order, starting with making yourself last. Look, I had 3 children that I had to raise without the benefit of a partner. And it seemed quite normal and natural that the children's needs had to come first. And while this is natural and normal, it's a part of being a parent. It can also be detrimental. As a parent, You must take care of you. You must work, that's for the kids. You must rest, that's for you. And you must play, and that's for you too. You must have some part of your life. You got to carve out some time, some space that is just for you, particularly as the children get older. Now, granted, if you are breastfeeding or bottle feeding or chasing a 2-year-old, this may seem like a pie in the sky idea, but it is absolutely essential that moms and dads who are raising children alone learn how to and insist on taking care of themselves as well as the children. Parents who are alone are so often so stressed out because they do not take care of themselves. Many refuse to take an hour or a day to themselves, or spend a little money on themselves, or just do fun things. Many say, I can't afford it. Others say, I don't have any support. And others have made parenting the children from a broken relationship their lot in life. And they punish themselves for the mistakes they made in the relationship by giving their lives over to the children. Now, I'm in no way saying that when you're parenting alone, you should not make your children's well-being and welfare a priority. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you still have a life, and it's yours, and you have a right to live it. Now listen, you'd be surprised how much support you can get just to take a break if you ask for it. But when you make up that you're all alone and that you don't have anybody and you won't have anybody to support you, you won't have it. Now, if you don't have a friend, one friend, who can help you take a little time away from the children, then you got some other stuff going on that don't have nothing to do with parenting. Do not make yourself the last to eat, the last to go to bed, the last to have some fun, the last to take some time off. Whether it's a few hours or a Saturday morning or a night out with friends, take care of you. Have some downtime away from the children. And taking care of your needs will only help to make you a better parent. And not everything costs money. Go sit in the park. Go to the library, and God forbid you should go to a cheap movie. I mean, really. You got 18 long years ahead of you. So start early and train yourself to carve out some time, some rest, and some fun. Because when you're parenting alone, you cannot be last, and you must take care of yourself. And also be mindful not to punish yourself and try to make up for the absent parent being absent by being a martyred parent. Oh, I do everything for the kids. Oh, the martyr parent. You know, martyrs are very angry people, okay? So that's number 4. Number 3, making the absent parent the enemy. Now, this not only happens in what you say and do not say, it also happens in how you think and the attitude you demonstrate toward the other parent. Now notice I didn't say your baby's daddy or your baby's mama. Those names have not a shred of responsibility attached to them. I said the other parent. Whether or not they're playing an active role, you must at all costs do everything you can not to make them an enemy, no matter how crazy, sick, or deranged they behave. I know it's hard, but the best thing you can do is tell the truth to the children rather than give them your opinion. The other day, I heard a woman say to her son, he must have been about 10, "Your father? Well, you go right ahead and wait for him to do something and see how far that gets you." Now, I don't know what the child was saying or asking, but it broke my heart to see his face as he listened to what his mother was saying about his father. Again, I don't know the history, but clearly that mother had made the father the enemy, and she was visiting her upset and disdain upon the child. And even if his father is a total lunatic deadbeat, we got to remember that a boy's first hero is his father, just like a girl's first love is her father. So whether you're a mother or a father parenting alone, please Be mindful of what you communicate to your children about the other parent, how you communicate it when you are parenting alone. Tell the truth. Here's a possibility. You know what, my love? Maybe your dad wants to do blah blah, but he may not be able to. So let's make a plan A and a plan B. So just in case he can't do it, you won't be disappointed, okay? Now notice, we have told the truth, and we've offered an alternative, and we've invited the child to participate. Now, even if the dad doesn't show up or the mom doesn't show up and they're disappointed, remember, you have a plan B, not an opinion, okay? Parenting alone is already difficult. And I know some of us are hurt and disappointed by how we became parents or who we became parents with. But we must be mindful about what we visit upon the children, because it will come back to you. Why? Because the parent who is present is the easy target. And when you invade or interfere with the child's fantasy about the absent parent, trust me, it is not going to turn out well for you. Eventually, the child will take it out on you. So keep your opinions to yourself and do not make the absent parent the enemy. Now, here's the big one, and I know I'm really running a risk here. This is where people are going to be throwing shoes at the computer and pushing that thumbs down button. But it's also such a common problem because most parents, specifically mothers who do this, they don't have a clue. Most often this happens when the mother is holding the thought that she doesn't want her son to be like his father. So instead, she teaches him how to please her. Do this for mommy. Or she makes him responsible for her emotional well-being. Well, if you would do blah, blah, then I would feel blah, blah. Or I need you to do this so that I can do this. Or you're making me feel. Or look what you made me do. Or the big critical error that mothers make with their son. Look what I'm doing for you, and what is your father doing? Ooh, I cringe. Listen, moms, if you have something for your son to do, give him an instruction and a direction. Do not put your emotional needs in the mix. And do not attach what your son does or doesn't do to your emotional well-being. Now, I know you're a mom and you want your son to be great and marvelous and wonderful, but don't make him emotionally responsible. Give him chores, give him responsibilities, hold him accountable, but do not make him responsible to make you look good or feel good. That is too much responsibility for a child, whether he is 6, 16, or 46. And it confuses him. He is not your little man. He is a child. He needs care, nurturing, support, guidance, and clear boundaries. Make him pick up his own dirty socks and dirty clothes. Stop asking him what he wants for dinner. If he doesn't make his bed right, don't make it for him. Let him do it again. And until he gets it right, listen to me, Linda. That man thing comes up in boys really early, and he will learn how to manipulate you as a woman because he knows how to get to your heart. Don't make excuses for him and let him stumble without breaking his fall. He'll be all right. Listen, here's what my son taught me, which was one of the most valuable lessons I learned as a mother. He said, a man will never know he's a man until he can fall and get up on his own. And that must start when he's a boy. Mom, stop breaking his fall. Stop doing it for him like you would your husband. And stop trying to keep him from being like his father and let him grow into who he is. Now, that's all I have to say about that. And finally, making your daughter your friend. Let me get right to the point on this one, okay? Do not discuss your love life, your financial problems, or your problems at work, or your sexual preferences with your 10-year-old daughter. Do not talk negatively to your daughter about your mother, her father, your boyfriend when she's 6. And do not gossip with your daughter about the women in your friend circle when she's 12. Mother, don't borrow money from your daughter after she gets her first job. And try not to make her your babysitter all of the time. Now, I'm here to tell you that one of the most precious and sacred relationships, friendships in the world, is the one between a mother and a daughter, her adult daughter. 2 women who have known each other since birth, her birth, not yours. You are the mother. And if you don't remember that and act according, the friendship between you will blossom when she gets 25 and she gets to know you as a woman. When she is 6, it is age inappropriate to treat her like she is your equal. This right here is dangerous. When a mother gives her daughter too much slack, too much room for comparison, too much equality, and too much information. As a mother, you are growing up and training another woman. She must have a healthy respect for women, herself included. So if she thinks she is your equal, your friend, when she's 14, she is surely going to tell you what she thinks about you and what you can do for her when she's 16. Listen, my daughters were not afraid of me, but there were more days that they did not like me than there were when they thought that we could just hang, okay? I remember there was a show that came on called Dinosaurs. And that show gave me the line that I still use with my daughters today. Not the mama. You are not the mama. I am the mama. And mama says blah, 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 blah. Now, I played house with my girls and we had teas and we combed doll hair, but they always knew that I was the mama. They never knew who I was sleeping with or how much money I had. Listen, familiarity breeds contempt. I had the honor and the pleasure of working with the late Dr. Betty Shabazz, who had 6 daughters with her husband, El Haj Malik Shabazz, or Malcolm X. And Dr. Betty told me something one day that I never forgot when she saw me interacting with my daughters. She said, Miss Iyanla, if you don't want them to do it, don't let them see you do it. And whatever you want them to do, you do it kindly, graciously, and with love. See the good and praise it. Correct the bad quickly. And as a woman parenting alone, that became my motto. I'm the mama. I see the good and I praise it, and I correct the bad quickly. Listen, parenting alone isn't easy. And when we as parents are working hard to feed the children and manage our own lives, and in some cases grow ourselves up, it can be overwhelming. But again, this is not a judgment, nor is it a criticism of anyone or anything. However, so many of us were poorly parented simply because of the time and the environment in which we lived, or because our parents were wounded children who never healed. Today, we want to do better. We must do better. Now, some of this may apply to 2-parent households as well. If it helps you, that's a blessing. And for those of you parenting alone, take these notes. Stop making yourself last by making the children your sole and total focus. Take care of you. Don't make the absent parent the enemy. Mothers, do not make your son your emotional husband, and do not make your daughters your friends until they are of age. I sure hope this helps someone. I mean, just talking about it has helped me.
The RSpot.
Now, here's our question of the day. Iyanla, what do you do when your partner, in my case my husband, just won't talk? No matter what I say or how I say it, no matter if I yell or cry, I can't seem to get a rise out of him. He comes home every night. He pays all the bills. He is a great father, but he will not talk to me about anything. And I need someone to talk to. I really think he's checked out. Any suggestions? Ooh. This too is very common. But within your question, I find the answer. He has checked out. Now, I would need to know a little bit more about, has he always been like this or did it just happen? Has he suffered any losses, like a parent or a job, that may have stunned and stunted him? Because without that information, I don't know much. But I can offer this. I have met many people who were in a state of emotional crisis. And the common denominator that I found, regardless of the individual circumstances, is that every single individual who's struggling to relate what they are feeling and to understand themselves emotionally becomes incommunicative. They don't talk because they cannot or don't know how to express what's going on between their mind and their heart. And to be able to live fully, we must have a good relationship with our emotional experiences. And to do this, we must develop an emotional language and an emotional vocabulary that allows us to communicate within ourselves and with others. So when a person shuts down or fails to communicate, it could mean that they feel emotionally overwhelmed and don't know So when a person shuts down, it could mean that they're feeling overwhelmed and don't know how to cope with their own thoughts and feelings. They may lack an understanding of what it is they feel because they have no emotional language, no emotional vocabulary, and no emotional library to draw from that will support them in understanding and relating and engaging in what's actually going on between you and them and within them. So, my beloved, in this case, my recommendation is therapy. If you can get him to consider it, he might need a good therapist to help him develop the language he needs to be able to share what's going on within him and to respond to you. Now, just as a little encouragement, beloved, here's what I know. A man puts his money where his heart is. If he's coming home and bringing you the money, you have his heart. Now, you got to help him find his tongue.
The RSpot.
Now for the hallelujah truth of today. It is so much easier, lofty, and exciting to think about and talk about change in the world. But it takes courage, faith, and trust to do what's required to change yourself. If you want the world to be a better place, a more loving place, a more humane place, start with you. Change you, and you will give other people permission to do the same. Be sure to subscribe to the Iyanla Vanzant YouTube channel so that you'll get a notice every time we post a new RSpot episode. And don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to be on my mailing list, go to www.Iyanla.com because I've got some goodies for you.
Trying to mend the pieces of your broken heart. Want to make a change.
There's this. That's what I was like behind the scenes.
This will come up in a second too, which we'll have maybe. Let's see. He's got a pretty long intro, so you'll have this for probably at least 30 seconds.